Coming up on the Paper Talk today, it looks like we could be set for a transfer merry-go-round. Manchester United trying to move on players, including Jadon Sancho, Scott McTominay, Victor Lindelof, Christian Eriksen, one or two others as well. It looks like there's a bit of a fire sale going on because it appears that United are trying to bring in a left-back. Bring in a left-back. What am I on about? Bring in a left-back in Kadıoğlu from Fenerbahce, and also still chasing after the services of Manuel Ugarte. Let's get into it. Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and the weather it's mild. You might want to put your parkers on just in case because it's a bit cloudy. Loads of stories to get through, so we will crack on. Before we do though, I want you to hit like, share and subscribe. Let's get to 800,000 subscribers. We've had massive support. We appreciate it. Let's keep going. Let's get to 800,000 subscribers by the end of the week. Right, let's crack on because we've got a load of transfer stories. And the big transfer story doing the rounds this morning centres around Scott McTominay. Now this was sort of last night, this morning, a couple of stories doing the rounds. I think Damesh Seth, who's going to be on the channel very soon, he was talking about it, how that Fulham were ready to come back in with another bid for Scott McTominay. There was also reports, I think I saw it in the Evening News and one or two other outlets, that McTominay had agreed personal terms with Napoli. It looks like he's got two clubs chasing his signature, and it depends on whether Napoli or Fulham are willing to pay what Manchester United want for the midfielder. Now, Fulham did come in with a bid for him, during the summer. I think it was around 20 million quid, and Manchester United rejected that. Now, Fulham, it looked as though, had walked away from the deal. However, the latest reports indicate they are willing to come back to the table with Manchester United and perhaps increase that bid. Well, they're going to have to increase it. Maybe towards the £25 million mark. That could be enough for Manchester United to do business. We'll have to wait and see. Napoli, it doesn't feel like there has been a concrete bidding just yet. It feels like they've had some sort of talks with the players' representatives. So it depends on whether they're going to come in with a bid that satisfies Manchester United. If Scott McTominay is indeed willing to move to Serie A, that's one thing. But are Napoli going to stump up the money to get his signature? We'll have to wait and see. Get involved in the chat and the comments. Let us know what you think, because Scott McTominay is a bit of a... I think the word divisive seems a bit strong, but it does kind of divide opinion a little bit, doesn't it? Because there's people that go, look at his goal scoring record, look at the fact he's always got on with it, look at the fact that, you know, he does a job for you. You can bring him in at a team, he can get you a goal late on in a game. He's that kind of player. He sort of always puts a shift in. Then there's others that say we need to move on from the Scott McTominays of this world. He isn't that level where if you're going to be challenging at the very top of the Premier League, you can rely on a player like Scott McTominay. So what do you think about him? I'm somewhere in the middle. I was impressed with him last season, not just his goals. I keep going on about it because I can't get over it. The FA Cup final, I thought he did a very good job indeed marking Rodri. I thought he sort of stuck to him like glue, for want of a better expression. Sorry for that absolute cliche there, forgive me. And I think he can do a job. I get the argument though that if you're playing him week in, week out, is it the level that you need to be challenging at top Premier League? Probably not. So if we are going to bring in players though, and we need to move Scott McTominay on, it does make sense, and that is what we need to do according to certain reports. I saw Alex Turk, I think, in the Express saying, look, Manchester United can do business. Manchester United can bring in Manuel Ugarte and a Fenerbahce left back we've been linked with, Ferdi Kadıoğlu. If I've got that one right, forgive me if I've not. We've been linked with those two players, Ugarte and Kadıoğlu, and according to the Express, if Manchester United do move on one or two players, then those transfers could happen. Now, Scott McTominay is one player we're looking to move on. There are others as well. Victor Lindelof has been linked with a move away. Christian Eriksen, I know we're not going to get money for him, but maybe get him off the wage bill. Also, Jadon Sancho, he's been linked with a move, I think, to PSG at one point. I don't know what's happening with that one, but the sort of common thinking there is if Manchester United can shift on some of the players that we've got that are pretty much surplus to requirements, then you can bring in Ugarte and Kadıoğlu. Those are two signings that Manchester United are looking at. We need to strengthen in midfield. I don't care what anyone says. I'm of the opinion that you cannot rely on Casemiro. I know he's done okay in pre-season and he did okay against Fulham as well. But for me, you can't rely on him as your DM. You just can't. I think you need to bring in someone else. Manuel Ugarte fits the bill to a certain degree. He's not perfect, but who is? I think he'd be a much better option, though, for Manchester United. And if we can get that deal done, then we need to make it happen. Because you can't just keep ignoring the midfield situation. It feels like United do this quite a lot. I know we brought in Casemiro, but there's been so many summers where we've needed a DM and we haven't got one. And we just thought, oh, we'll play McFred there, it'll be okay. Or we'll still rely on a player that isn't good enough. Or maybe Donny van der Beek can play in a six. It's just stupid thinking that gets us nowhere. We need to bring someone in, and for me, Manuel Ugarte, who has been linked with a move from PSG to Manchester United quite a lot this summer, would be the obvious one. And according to the Express, if United can move on the likes of McTominay and one or two others, then Ugarte and Kadıoğlu could happen. One transfer I don't think is going to happen is this one we've been linked with for the Valencia goalkeeper, Georgi Mamardashvili. Forgive me if I'm getting that one wrong. Forgive me, I'm trying my best with that one, but I've probably absolutely butchered his name. However, I think the Liverpool Echo and one or two other papers were saying that Liverpool and Manchester United are in talks for the 23-year-old goalkeeper's signature. I had this in my news yesterday. I'd be surprised if Manchester United were going for another goalkeeper. I know he's done well. I think he's done well for the Georgian national team. He's done well for Valencia. We've brought in Andre Onana last summer. We brought in Bayern last summer as well. Are we really bringing in a third goalkeeper in the space of, what, 13, 14 months or 12 months? I'd be surprised, to say the least. Get involved in the chat in the comments. I mean, this kid might be that good. You're going to go and get him. And also, are you going to go toe-to-toe with Liverpool for his signature? I mentioned this yesterday. We were talking about it quite a lot, so I don't need to go into it too much, but it does seem a little bit unlikely to me. However, you may disagree. I think the big sort of deal now with Manchester United is who we can move on. All these transfers that we're being linked with, all these names we're being linked with, it's all dependent on Manchester United moving a few players on. One player it doesn't look like we'll be getting is Ivan Toney. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago or a week ago or so. I sent out a couple of messages saying, just keep your eye on Ivan Toney. There could be a bit of movement there. However, there could be movement, but it ain't going to be to Manchester United. It does seem as though he's going to go elsewhere. He wasn't in the Brentford squad over the weekend. Looks like he's going to be getting a transfer. There was talk, I think, of him going abroad. However, there are rumoured to be Premier League clubs interested in him, but Manchester United ain't one of them. I think Florian Plettenberg and one or two others have mentioned this. Manchester United not looking to secure the services of Ivan Toney. We're happy with Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee. We love Joshua Zirkzee after that goal against Fulham. What a debut. Great performance as well. I thought he did well with some touches as well. Got his goal. Hopefully he can play a big part of Manchester United. So Ivan Toney doesn't look like Manchester United are going to be going in for him. We're going to settle with the likes of Zirkzee and, of course, Højlund we've got as well. So, yes, I'm always happy for Manchester United to sign more players, but it kind of makes sense because people go, well, and I've said it myself, well, we had 4 strikers back in the day. We had Sheringham, we had Solskjaer, we had York, we had Cole. They all did a job and we helped us win the treble. But you played 2 up top then, didn't you? Now you tend to have a lone striker. Yes, you could have 3 strikers available, but we have 2 seems to be the magic number for Manchester United, and we've got other areas we need to sort out, including that central midfield role I keep banging on about for a reason. Another transfer rumour doing the rounds, potential outgoing that could help bring in some money to fund a bid for the likes of Ugarte and Kadıoğlu is Facundo Pellistri. It looks like he could be heading to Panathinaikos. Fabrizio Romano tweeted about this, said that sort of talks are ongoing and it looks as though the Greek club are going to try and secure his services. I like Facundo Pellistri. I think he's a good lad, an honest player, tries his best. He's probably not at the levels that you need if you're going to be challenging at the very top, but he's always got on with it. I mean, we saw him at the Community Shield playing at right back. He's the one who never kicks up a fuss. Obviously, Uruguayan international, probably just not quite worked out for him. So if he does end up moving to Panathinaikos, we wish him well. Also wishing well to Angel Gomes. Suffered a serious injury over the weekend. I think there's been pictures of him in hospital giving a bit of a thumbs up. Hopefully he's going to be okay. As always though, we do wish him well and hopefully he makes a speedy and full recovery. One final one from me. I just want to mention Mason Greenwood. He scored a couple of goals for Marseille, and obviously United Twitter goes into overdrive, or United X if you want to call it that, about the fact Mason Greenwood scored goals. Why did we let him go? All the rest of it. You know why we let Mason Greenwood go. It's got nothing to do with his football ability. He's going to score lots of goals during his career, but he's no longer at Manchester United, and you know the reasons why. And to be honest with you, all this discourse, this arguing, this debating about whether Mason Greenwood should have stayed or should have gone, it just bores me. He's left. He's gone. We know he's going to score goals. We know why he's not at Manchester United anymore, and I think we just need to move on from it. Anyway, that's enough of me ranting. I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.